You might say the Broncos got kittled. Get it? It's like killed, but because of George Kittle. Oh God, do we have to do this today? Do we have to do this today? Yeah, this is the profession you've chosen, you fucking idiot. So suck it up like a man and talk about a crushing loss. Just talk about it. Express your feelings in a constructive way like a man. I don't want to do that. Life's hard. That's how I feel on the inside. Yep, okay, we're gonna do this. Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. I honestly thought the Broncos season was over in October, so I actually appreciate the late push, the late bit of magic, even though it's now 98% dead perna. The 49ers beat the Broncos so badly that I can't even enjoy this play of Nick Mullins falling on his ass and throwing the ball into the dirt from his ass. Ass to grass after the center steps on the quarterback's foot and trips him is my all-time favorite fucking play, and Vance Joseph's game plan wouldn't even let me enjoy it. Well, technically, that's my second favorite play. My first favorite play is, of course, the Miami Dolphins' miracle Hail Mary pitches to beat the Patriots on the final play of the game. That is everybody's favorite play today, and probably forever. Now, the Broncos have been like a hot Instagram couple these last few weeks. They looked great to the outside world, used a few filters to hide their flaws, but behind the scenes, that couple was still dysfunctional, still pretending to be happy when their home was filled with resentment, jealousy, praying Instagram would never add a smell feature. That way you can't catch a whiff of their rotting relationship. And with an average QB at best, and a coaching staff that just doesn't get it, there are things festering in the darkness of the Broncos locker room. And for once, it's not Garrett Bowles' unwashed, moderately lucky jockstrap. 49ers move to 3-10 with a 20-14 victory over the Broncos. I do appreciate the surge of intros today, even though they got progressively sadder and sadder as the game continued.
Live from Santa Clara, That's Good Broncos!
That's good. Fuck.
Out here from Redding, California, Justin and Keith, first real regular season game. That's Good Broncos!
That's good Broncos. That's good Broncos.
Game just started. That's good Broncos.
You're taking that L, and that's not good Broncos.
That's good Broncos.
That's not good Broncos.
I love that the Broncos players as a team don't fucking give up. In terms of having a solid foundation, especially with a lot of young guys, I think that's a positive note we Broncos fans can carry into the offseason. This team shows resilience even when things look terrible. That said, all the things we were worried about 4 weeks ago before the win streak started surfaced again today. Bad coaching, a bad secondary, and a QB who doesn't elevate the team. And the Steelers lost to the Raiders today, so what the fuck does that win mean? What did we learn? We learned miracles only happen in Miami, and that if you shut down the Broncos' run game, their offense cannot function, especially without Emmanuel Sanders. We learned that Kyle Shanahan outcoached the shit out of Vance Joseph, and that the Broncos had absolutely no game plan for the best player on the 49ers offense, George Kittle. Basically, San Francisco, heading into this game, said, we need to stop Phillip Lindsay to have success today. And the Broncos said, George Kittle? He can't be that good, can he? Last week against the Bengals, the Broncos offense wasn't able to do anything until the very end of the first half. The same was true today, except instead of doing something, they let the 49ers offense score their second touchdown with about a minute on the clock. George Kittle, of course, had 110 receiving yards in the first half. Sorry, I meant 210 receiving yards. 210 receiving yards from a tight end in 1/2 is so unbelievable. When I see the number, my brain says, no, that must be a typo, you fucking idiot. Nah, sorry, brain. Don't try and figure out this Broncos team. You're playing chess, and they're playing Twister. Virtual Twister. Now, George Kittle gained all of those first half yards by getting wide open. By getting wide open and deflecting would-be tacklers, mostly Bradley Roby. This is one of the worst tackling attempts I've ever seen by Bradley Roby. I get that he's trying to strip the ball here. He's like, he already gained 40 yards. What's 20 more? Let me try to make a... Let me get that... Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. I should have tackled him. Shit. Fuck. Shit. Motherfuck. Shit. I do need to say the star for the Broncos in the first half was punter Colby Wadman. Wadmania punted as many times as George Kittle had yards, and he did an excellent job. Wadman was the Broncos MVP in the first half by far, second only to 49ers penalties to help the Broncos offense move the ball. Third only to the emotional bro hug between John Lynch and John Elway. Two guys so Stanford, they made us forget Ed McCaffrey also went to Stanford. When you have a guy as good as Phillip Lindsay, you don't expect him to get shut down. However, the Broncos didn't seem to have a plan at all in case that did happen, nor did they seem to have creative ways planned to make space for him, maybe in the passing game, if the Broncos couldn't run against the strength of that San Francisco defense, the D-line. Lindsay had less than 5 rushing yards at the end of the first half, and I had less than 5% faith Denver could make a comeback after the purple-haired Dante Pettis scored an easy touchdown before the clock struck 0. Halftime, Broncos down 20-0. George Kittle single-handedly embarrassed the Broncos for 30 straight minutes. He was 4 yards short of tying Shannon Sharpe's single-game record for receiving yards by a tight end with 214. That's why even during a loss, we must respect the Broncos for holding George Kittle to 0 yards in the second half. They may have lost the game, but they protected Shannon Sharpe's record. Now, the last George to have as much early success as George Kittle did in the first 30 minutes of this game was George Lucas with his first 3 Star Wars films. And much like Lucas, neither Georges could live up to their previous accomplishments with their second half efforts. Yet they'll both go to bed tonight rich, winners in their Northern California estates, probably both masturbating to pictures of C-3PO online. It's the George way. Even in a loss, I can appreciate the unadulterated joy spreading across Joe Staley's face after he caught a pass in this game. A meaningless pass, really, but that's what football's all about right there. That's the kind of play that makes a future riddled with body pain every single day totally worth it. After halftime, Bradley Chubb got his 12th sack on the season, bringing him 2.5 away from tying the rookie sack record. He had 1 in the first half, which came when he just bulldozed his blocker right into Nick Mullins. Then the Broncos offense finally got something going. Andy Manovich converted a 4th and inches. Smart play call there by Bill Musgrave, even though if he was really smart, he would have gotten the ball to Jano 10 times in this game. That's how you outsmart Kyle Shanahan. Then, on another 4th down, Case Keenum connected with Tim Patrick, the leading Broncos receiver on the day, to pick up a first. And the Broncos not so promptly moved into a hurry-up offense, which I think is just called offense, and handed it off to Phillip Lindsay, who basically doubled his rushing total on the day during this short touchdown run. Now, don't get me wrong, I like that the Broncos went for it on 4th down twice to score a touchdown on that drive. But I have to question taking the ball out of punter Colby Wadman's hands. How do you not get the ball into your first half MVP's hands on that drive? That may be what truly costs Vance Joseph his job. I would like to congratulate Will Parks for doing the impossible. He blasted quarterback Nick Mullins. I mean, absolutely walloped him and did not get flagged for roughing the passer. A nearly impossible feat in 2018. Just ask Clay Matthews. That doesn't just make Will Parks a great player, it makes him a goddamn artist. Now the Broncos offense faced another 4th and 3, and Vance goes for it again. Could Denver convert 3 4th downs in a row? No, definitely not. It was a great effort by Philip Lindsay, but he was clearly very short of the marker, unless you're asking number 38 Shamarko Thomas, vigorously claiming Lindsay got it. It's okay, Shamarko. Stop the charade. Stop lying to yourself. Shamarko Thomas right here is all of us Broncos fans talking about the playoffs. We believed, even though everyone else could see, we were going to fall short of our goal. Then Darian Stewart did what he has done very well this season. Play very questionable football in the first half, and then make an impactful play in the second half. He's like the bad half of a relationship. Treats you like garbage, then buys you something nice, apologizes, for which you forgive him, and then 1 week later, you're repeating the cycle with him. That interception did breathe life into the game. Speaking of life, it was one half of life insurance. Mr. Insurance himself, Rolls-Royce Freeman, rushing for 23 yards and finishing it with an arm so stiff you might have thought he had rigor mortis. A great reminder for you to purchase life insurance today. Because like the Broncos' playoff hopes, you'll never know when you'll be fucking dead. All the life insurance in the world, though, can't protect you from Vance Joseph shitting on points. The Broncos go for their 4th down attempt instead of taking a possible 3 points with 8.5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Now, some of you on Twitter said, a field goal is meaningless when you're down by 13, idiot. That's exactly what Vance Joseph must have been thinking, and it's exactly why he should be fired. Yes, you still need 2 possessions to score, but if you only need a touchdown and a field goal to win versus 2 touchdowns, that's a much more attainable goal. Statistically, the numbers back me up, and intellectually, my brain backs me up. And why all of a sudden are you agreeing with Vance Joseph late in the game? You think being down 14-20 instead of 17-20 in the final few minutes was better? Yep, having the 1st overall draft pick is also better than winning the fucking Super Bowl. Now, Deshaun Hamilton did make one of the best catches I've seen this season. Holds onto the ball after getting absolutely blasted. That hit resulted in a penalty tacking on 15 yards to the catch, but Hamilton earned the now meaningless Iron Cock Award for that catch. Then Timmy Patrick made an incredible catch on the sideline that was ruled not a catch by the refs. He got both feet down, but the Broncos still don't know when to challenge a play. Don't know when to challenge, don't know when to take points. Luckily, Tim Patrick said, fuck it, I'll just do the same incredibly difficult shit again on the other sideline. That play, plus a 49ers pass interference penalty, put the Broncos on the 1 yard line. The Broncos needed all 4 downs to get the true longest yard with a pass to Deshaun Hamilton, who walks in for the touchdown, cutting the 49ers lead down to just 6 points. Could have been 3 had VJ taken the field goal earlier, but what the fuck do I know? Broncos still don't know when to challenge or when to take points. Wait, did I already say that? Because Vance Joseph elects to challenge this catch by the 49ers instead. A play that looked like a catch when it was called a catch and then was re-ruled a catch after everyone except the Broncos coaching staff thought it was a catch. That also didn't really matter because the 49ers could have been in a 3rd and 30 and Dante Pettis would still have asked his hairdresser to give him the old lady purple look on his way to converting it for the 49ers. In Vance's defense, I'm pretty sure Kyle Shanahan stopped coaching at halftime. You either have to credit the Broncos defense for adjusting in the second half and shutting Kittle down, or blame Kyle Shanahan for not figuring out ways to get him the ball. I'm not sure which is a bigger coaching gaffe. 0 Kittle yards in the second half, or the 49ers kneeling the ball too soon, which gave the Broncos an unnecessary final play, one last chance to win. Had Miami already not used up the football miracle for the day, Denver could have won this game in exciting fashion, or tried a 70-yard field goal from McManus if they took those points earlier. So in conclusion, Kyle Shanahan might be a better coach than Vance Joseph because he won this game where both coaches had all of their best players hurt, the difference being Vance had his starting quarterback on the field who threw for 146 fewer yards than the guy who didn't even start the season with a verified Twitter account. That may not sound bad, but it's the equivalent of me winning the Nobel Peace Prize for inventing "fuck you, Tom Brady." And that's the point of today's episode. Even in this bad loss, we all got to say "fuck you, Tom Brady" when the Dolphins beat the Patriots on a miracle play, one you won't see again for fucking years to come. So thank you, Adam Gase, former Bronco. Thank you, Brock Osweiler, former Bronco, for doing a great job backing up Ryan Tannehill. And pretty much we'll call the Dolphins victory a Broncos victory today. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I don't know if you want to. I mean, think about it. Like, is it really worth your time to subscribe to my YouTube channel? Could you find better, more productive ways to kill time than watching this bullshit? I have to think that the answer to that is yes. But I'm still asking you to do it. I'm asking you to make a bad decision, you know? I don't feel good about that. I don't.